नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। Myself, Dr. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. In previous sessions, we studied about different signs of postmortem finding in case of stillborn, deadborn, and liveborn infants. Now today we are going to understand the different causes of death. So the cause of death may be natural, it may be unnatural, or it may be criminal activity. So first of all, natural causes of infant death. One of them is prematurity, that the child born prematurely before completing the 36 weeks of pregnancy. At this stage, there is the development of child is not complete, and he has to struggle to survive. So there are chances that the child cannot survive that challenges and he may die. So some of the causes of premature birth are congenital malformation, that the child is having any congenital defect, or there are congenital malformation of uterus in mother, birth trauma, while during the process of delivery, if there is any trauma, if there is any injury, then it can cause the death of the fetus. Intrapartum asphyxia, during the process of delivery, if there is if the labor is prolonged, or if there is a knot around the fetus neck and it causes asphyxia, difficulty in breathing, then the child may die during the birth process. Neonatal infection, any type of infection that may lead to the death. ABO and RH incompatibility, in this case there is incompatibility of the blood group in mother and fetus. Usually, in this case, in RH incompatibility case, first delivery is normal. If there is incompatibility in the second child also, then there are development of antibodies after the birth of first child, and these antibodies may react against new infant, new fetus, and it may cause RH incompatibility, may lead to death of the fetus. Post maturity delivery, if there is early separation of placenta, preeclamptic toxemia, and sudden infant death syndrome. So some of the common causes are immaturity. A prematurely born child generally dies immediately after birth. In the case of the premature birth of a child, the question arises as to whether the birth was criminally induced or not. For under the IPC, the criminal induction of premature labor is an offense. So if a fetus is born prematurely, then due to the challenges or due to the underdevelopment, there are very less chances that he will survive after the birth, and usually they dies immediately after birth. But in case of premature death, the important thing is to decide that whether the delivery was normal, was due to some natural defects or natural problems, or it was induced criminally. And if it is induced criminally, then it is an offense under the sections of IPC. Debility, due to lack of general development. Even a full-term child may die after birth from debility. In these cases, no disease except atelectasis of some portion of the lungs due to feeble respiration is detected. So in immature deliveries, there was less development due to which the child was unable to survive. But even if the delivery is full term, then there may be some lack of general development. It may be due to the congenital malformations or due to the nutritional malformation, nutritional deficiencies, or any other cause. There is lack of general development, and this lack of development causes debility, which results in death after birth. In these cases, no disease is observed except atelectasis of some portion of the lungs. Congenital diseases and malformations. So, some of the congenital diseases like syphilis, some fevers, or toxemic conditions may cause death. Certain conditions such as encephaly, spina bifida, and congenital diaphragmatic hernia, and some of the identifiable cardiovascular or metabolic abnormalities are the causes that may cause death of the infant. Spasm of the larynx may occur from mucus or meconium being aspirated into the larynx or from the enlargement of thymus gland. So if there is aspiration of meconium in the during the intrapartum process or in utero life, or if there is an enlargement of thymus gland, then it can cause a spasm of the larynx, which can cause asphyxia and may lead to death of the fetus or infant. Erythroblastosis fetalis, it is due to isoimmunization, as I discussed already, when an Rh negative woman is carrying an Rh positive fetus, and it may result in death of the fetus. But this incompatibility causes death only in second pregnancy, as there is no self-immunization, isoimmunization, or development of antibodies during the first delivery. Birth asphyxia can occur in preeclampsia, eclampsia, placenta abruption, cephalopelvic disproportion, and shoulder dystocia. Evidence of asphyxia at autopsy includes thymic, pleural, and epicardial patchy with intraalveolar hemorrhage and meconium on the skin and shed fetal skin within distal air passage. So, if there is any death due to asphyxia, then the evidence of asphyxial death during the autopsy includes thymic, pleural, and epicardial petechial hemorrhage with intra-alveolar hemorrhage, and due to the distress, meconium is passed, which can be found on the skin and shed fetal skin within distal air passages. Now, unnatural causes of the death. So, unnatural causes of death may be accidental cause, and this accidental cause can be perinatal or postnatal. In perinatal, there may be injuries to the mother. It may cause premature separation of placenta or injury of the fetus, like concussion of brain, fracture, rupture of blood vessels, and it may lead to death of the baby. So, if there is any injury to mother during the pregnancy, then this injury may cause the separation of placenta, premature separation of placenta, or it may directly affect the child by causing injury to the fetus, just like concussion of brain, fracture, rupture of blood vessels, and these may lead to death of the baby. Second is prolonged labor. It can cause death of the fetus due to injury to the brain because of compression of the head, or due to asphyxia. So if the labor is prolonged, then there is injury to brain because of compression of the head, or child may die due to asphyxia. Prolapse cord or pressure on cord. It may cause stoppage of fetal circulation during birth. So if there is any pressure on the cord, compression of the cord, or if there is prolapse of the cord, then it got compressed and it stops the fetal circulation during the birth, and death of the newborn may occur during or just after birth. twisting of cord around the neck or knots of the cord. So if there is any knots around of the cord, or if there is any twisting of cord around the neck, then it can cause death of the infant during the birth or immediately after birth due to the asphyxia. And this asphyxia is due to the strangulation of neck due to the cord. Death of the mother. When the mother dies during the delivery, the question arises as to how long a child may live in utero after her death, and this time depends upon the cause of mother death. So if a mother dies during the delivery, then the child will be born live or dead. It depends that for how much long period the child will survive in the uterus, and this duration depends on the cause due to which mother has died. If the death has occurred slowly from hemorrhage, then there is little chance of saving the child, but it may be saved if an attempt is made to extract it within 25 minutes after sudden death from accident of the previous healthy mother. So if the death is due to slow hemorrhage, then there are very little chances that the child can be saved. But if the death is happened suddenly from an accident of the previously healthy mother, the mother was healthy before the death, but she dies due to an accident, then the baby can be extracted alive within 25 minutes. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.